Kia ora mai koutou, nau mai hoki mai. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's a little bit of a chilly evening, but it hasn't been too bad. I hope you're all doing well, and I want to welcome all of our new whānau who are beginning their journey at the wānanga in our business programs for semester B. So this live stream is for you guys. Ko waiho, ko Kane Milne toku ingoa, he uria hau o te iwi o Ngaitahu, ke te noho hau ki tāma ki makaurau e nāianei, ko toku mahi ki roti te wānanga o te aroa, ki roti te tātari kaunga. Quality office is my main job, but I've always been involved in kind of trying to promote the value of technology to amplify our voices. So thank you for joining us. Chickening in, kia ora little one and Betty, thank you for both chickening in, and Danielle, really appreciate it. Okay, right, today we are looking at Excel. Now, caveat, I am not a Excel expert, but I use it all the time. There's probably people better than me, and we're not going to dive too deeply into Excel. I am going to leave you some links to a couple of YouTube content creators who do a lot of Excel stuff, including links to playlists that they have created both for Excel and for Google Sheets. So Excel being the granddaddy of spreadsheets that most people use, but Google's offering now for free for anyone is Google Sheets, and it's very similar. And we're going to use both of them tonight, just to show you the similarities and how to navigate and what they do. So hopefully this will be interesting. We're just going to cover real basics, and I'm going to also show you, if you're in the business whānau, how you take some of the templates that are provided and bring them into your own Excel or Google Sheets, depending on what you want to use. And tonight we're going to be using just free versions. So my account for Excel is using the online free version, using my own personal account that's tied to my Xbox. So it's kind of the account that I use when I set up my Xbox. And then we're using the Te Toi Toa Google account for Google Sheets. So both of them are free. They don't have any extra features. They don't have any AI built in. So it's just what's available for free. If you have paid versions or a family plan for any of these, you might get some extra features like AI, like the ability to download the desktop version of Microsoft Excel and the other Microsoft products. But we just wanted to show what everyone has access to, regardless of your financial position. All you need is internet access. So let's get cracking. Okay, firstly, let's start with Microsoft 365 and Excel. So here I've just gone Microsoft 365, or the URL is www.office.com. That's the traditional one. Microsoft have rebranded it from Office 365 to Microsoft 365. So I'm going to click on that link, and they're really pushing Copilot at the moment. So when we first go in, we actually land on their Copilot page. Because this is a free account, all I can do here is search my files and stuff like that. But down the left-hand side, I've got Excel, which is useful, and I've also got OneDrive. So OneDrive is where my saved Excel files will be. So here you can see I've got a few ones that I've been playing with and looking at. If I come here, I can go straight into Excel. Just close that. Once again, my recent ones, but I'm going to start with a blank workbook. Okay, so this is Excel. This is the online version, and 90% of what you can do in the web-based version. Yeah, you can do 90% of the full version in the web-based, probably 99%. Okay. So this is all we'll ever need for most things. And as this is being developed as well, Microsoft tend to put the newest features in the online before it rolls out to the desktop version. Kia ora, Cheryl, thanks for checking in. Okay, so what are we going to do first? Well, what we're going to try here is a very simple stock management tool. So I've got a business and I have stock. So as we go through, that's what we're actually going to create. Now, looking around the interface, I've got a number of different menus where I can do things like page layout, formulas. Okay, new experience. Okay, we're just going to keep very, very simple formulas at the moment, but realize Excel is a really, really complex program. You can do so much with it, and people can really get into it and do some amazing things. I've seen Excel used to actually generate images, okay? Data, review, things like that. Draw. I have no idea what draw is for. Mainly, I think if you're presenting your stuff. But those are the menus, and home, you have the most common things used. So those are your menus. This is a sheet, okay? A sheet is almost unlimited. We can keep scrolling and keep scrolling. There is a limit to it, but it's huge. So from 1 to a very large number, down in our vertical axis, and then A through, once again, very large number. When it reaches Z, it goes to AA. So we can hold a lot of data in one sheet. Okay. Now, each one of these blobs here is a cell. Okay. So a cell can just contain data. It could be any kind of data. It could be letters, numbers. It could be a color. It could be a combination. And it can be formulas. So it can be something that works out something. Okay. And then we have rows, columns. So this is a column, and we have rows. And so each of these cells actually has a location or a identity. So this one, we're in D, column, row 5. And so the value of it is D5, and it'll show us up there. If we wanted to go to E7, we could type it in directly, or just click around and we see this value changes. Okay. If we highlight and select multiple ones, okay, it's going to show that. Okay. So in this case, 11 rows, 1 column. Okay, so let's actually create our sheet. What are we doing? A product sheet. Now, I can rename the sheet, and you can have multiple sheets. So sheet 1, sheet 2, I just click on the plus to create another sheet. I can right click on it and delete it. I can move sheets around to organize them. Okay. Here, we're just going to work on one sheet. So I'm going to delete that sheet. And it's just going to be one sheet to begin with. Okay, and so I want to figure out what I want to have. I'm going to come here. I'm going to type date. Product in, product out, and stock on hand. Spell that right. Okay. My text has been auto-fitted. Yeah, want to keep it on. That's fine. I can grab in between these columns and drag them left and right to make columns bigger or smaller. Okay. Over here, I'm going to put a starting stock. Okay. So what stock am I starting with? And that's going to be sitting outside my main kind of data area. And I just want to use that to get us started. Now, because I'm tracking one type of stock at the moment, I haven't got anything else here to explain what the stock is. So here I'm going to come and rename this, and I'm going to call this duck, because I sell ducks. Okay. My starting stock, I'm going to put just 50. Okay. Now it doesn't matter, this part doesn't matter where you put it. I'm just putting it up the top for now. Okay. So date, I'm going to put in a date there. Okay. Product in, so if I get product in, I'll put in a value there. If I take product out, like I sell product, I'll put it there. And then I'm going to get the stock on hand to be automatically calculated. Okay. So a couple of things that we can learn to begin with, just basically. Okay. We can pre-populate things like date. I'm going to put January there. Then I'm going to put February. Actually, that's too big. I'm going to be more simple, and I'm just going to put Jan. Feb. Okay. Now, when we see a cell highlighted, there's a tiny little dot in the bottom left-hand corner or bottom right-hand corner of that cell. Okay. And if we highlight multiple cells, it'll be shown there. If I put something like 10 in that cell, okay, if I highlight it, come to that dot, click it and drag it down, it's going to make all of those cells 10 as well. So I'm duplicating what that cell's value is. So we can use that here too. We've got Jan, Feb. I'm going to drag this down. It's going to be clever and put in, realizing that it's all months, and put in the months there. So it's very, very clever in that sense. Now this is going to be simple. I'm not going to have anything in our product in or product out unless I enter it. And in stock on hand, I actually want to create a formula. So a formula is a calculation. And there's lots and lots of different formulas. Over here in my ribbon, we've got this sign here, and that's the sign for formula. And the default formula is an auto sum. So it creates a sum of two different things. So if I had product in of 10 and product out of 5, just that, I've just got two things in here. If I create and did an auto sum, it's going to sum up the values of these two columns. And it's 15. So it's added them together. So this is my formula, equals sum B2, so the column B2 to the column C2. Okay. And once again, I can click on that little dot on the bottom of the thing, and I'm going to recreate that formula, but it's going to change for each cell that goes down. So we're on the cell D5. So the sum is going to be B5 to C5. That's not what we want for this formula. So for this first one, what we want is we want to get our starting stock, okay? And then we want to add any product in and then minus any product out. And if you have a look on a number pad on the keyboard, above the number pad, you've got a /, you've got a star, you've got a minus, and then you've got a plus, just coming around that number pad on the keyboard. So the / is a divide, star means multiply, minus means minus, and plus means plus. So we can use that in our formula. So this stock on hand cell, okay, our January, I'm going to create a formula. So I'm going to click on auto sum, and now I'm going to click on that starting stock. I'll click in here. I'm going to go plus product in minus product out, and then enter. And that's my formula. And it's correct. It's 50. So it's taken our starting stock. It's got any product in should be a positive. So if I put in 10, this should change to stock on hand should change to 60. If I have any product out, 6, 54. Okay, so we've created that formula. Now, the next one down, we can't just copy it, okay, because it's going to try and get G2. So it's going to try and start with, instead of that value, it's going to try and start with that value. But that's not the value we want for this particular one. Once we've got our starting stock, okay, our next one, we want to do another formula, very, very similar, but we're going to start with this because our starting stock at the end of, or for February, will be what we end up with in January. So it'll be D2, and then we'll click in our formula bar here, up above, plus February product in, minus February product out. Okay, and then if we put in values again, we got 16 product in and we took 25 product out. And that formula works now. Now that I've done that one, because this is correct, this is going to use this updating value. I can then click there and drag right down to December. And then as I fill it in, 12 in, 15 out. It's going to keep on updating all the time. Now I can click on any of these cells that have a formula and I can see the formula. So sum of D10, I'll click on D10. I'll just hide that up. It's showing us D10 is in blue, plus B11 in red, minus C11 in purple. So we can see what it's doing. I'll just make this a little bit bigger. Undo that. Okay, so these are all the same except for the first one, because our starting stock isn't the one above it, it's this one over here. Okay, now let's make that look a little bit nicer. Okay, I'm going to highlight this top row, just those 4 things. I might bold them because they're kind of headings, and I can also come over here and do a fill color. And I'll choose a nice fill color. Actually, let's go yellow because they're ducks. And there we have it. I'll take out the values that I haven't actually got in yet. Okay. And there's my thing working. The last thing I'm going to do is do totals. Okay. And so here I'm going to do an auto sum again, but I'm going to click on the top of this row and drag all the way down. So now it's going to do the sum of B2 to B13. Okay. So it's going to give us a, try again, and then press enter. Okay, so it's going to give us the sum of all the product in. I'll do the same here. Auto sum, drag up and all the way down. Enter. Okay, so let's have a look. We got 12 in. We sold 6. We got another 18 in. And then we sold 22. Okay, so our formulas are working. And then because I want to kind of highlight them, I'm going to come here and choose a nice green color. And those are my totals. I'll bold them as well because they're the interesting things. So now I've got my product in and product out for each month of the year. And as it goes through, I can fill it in. Okay. So just a very, very simple table. Now, because I sell more than one product, I've set this up once. I can right click on this cell and I can duplicate it. So I've right clicked on the sheet and duplicated it. So now I've got duck and duck 2. I'm going to right click on duck 2 and I'm going to rename it because I also sell sheep. Okay. And I'm going to, on my sheep, I'm going to highlight that and I'm going to change the color to little gray. So now I've actually got 100 sheep as my starting stock. So we've got duck, sheep. Now to zoom in and zoom out, I can just hold control and use my mouse wheel to scroll forward to make things bigger or smaller. Okay, so I've got duck and sheep. Nice and simple, and I can carry that on again. Actually, let's do that. Let's duplicate sheep 2. I'm going to grab sheep 2, just drag it to the back. I'm going to right click and I'm going to rename horse. Okay. And I'll give this another color just because I can. Give it a kind of fawny browny color. Okay. So now what if I want to have totals of everything? Okay. I want one place where I see the final tally of where we're at. Okay. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to create a new sheet. I'm going to right click. I'm going to rename the sheet totals. Or, yep. And so I'm going to go current stock levels. Okay. Let's just drag that out a bit. Okay. Ducks, sheep, and horses. And let's give this another color. Okay, so to get my total of ducks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the cell where I want the value to show. I'm going to come to the auto sum. Okay, but then I'm going to come to ducks. I'm going to click on December because that'll always have the latest, and press enter. So what I'm doing is I'm telling it, get the sum from the sheet called duck, okay, from the cell D13. So once again, I'm going to come here, I'm going to go auto sum, but then I'm going to come down to the sheet that I want. And because that's going to always have the latest proper number and will always be updated, I'll press, click on that and press enter. So sheep, it's going to get the sum from the sheet called sheep and from the cell D13. And then horses, once again, just the same. Sum, horse, we'll get the latest one. And there we have it. We've got current stock levels for each thing. And I might come here and I'll give each one a slightly different color. Let's give it the same as we gave on those top things. Sheep, horses. Once again, just to color code it and make it easy to spot. Freezer. Okay, so let's see if that works. Duck. January comes along. I get an order of 25, so I sell 25 ducks. I don't get any in. My stock on hand is 25. Sheep in January. I get 200 sheep in, but I sell 230. And in horses, I don't get any in and I sell 15. We have a look at our totals automatically update because those other cells update. So I've got one spot where I can see my current inventory across all of those stock areas. So that's a very, very simple, very, very simple Excel spreadsheet. So what we've done is we've created some fields. We've created the titles. We've put in automatically dates by creating the first two and then just dragging down. We've just got columns ready for us to enter numbers in, and then we've created formula that take the previous month's stock on hand, or if it doesn't have a previous month, it takes our starting stock number, it adds our product in, and it takes away our product out. Okay. For three different things, which we just copied once we got our formulas all right, and then we created a total where we just grab the total from each sheet and display it in one space. Now, what I should have done first, although because I'm working online, it's always saving for me, but I should come here and I should name it. Stock levels 2025. Okay. When 2026 comes along, I can duplicate the sheet, take out any data, update my starting stock, and I'm ready to go again. So that's real basics of Excel. We can do lots of other things, but once again, you've got to, you got to invest a little bit of time to look at some of the deeper stuff. Kia ora, Paula, thank you for chickening in. And rā whānau, Tijuana, Pajama. Aroha mai. Another Leo. Congratulations. Okay. The best and most humble of the star signs. Okay, so that's Excel. Once again, free for anybody, just with a free Microsoft account. You don't need anything special. You can use your Wānanga Tauira account for this, and you get a little bit extra. But especially with a course that's like 18 weeks, you want to keep your stuff, I really recommend using your personal accounts. So here we have our Excel thing. I'm just going to refresh that, and there's my stock levels all saved. Okay, now Google Sheets. We're going to do something different with Google Sheets. So in our Google Apps, we can access it through Google Drive. So I'll come to Google Drive, and then I can create new Google Sheet, or we can access it directly through Sheets, okay, where we can create blank spreadsheets, but they also have a bunch of templates. I've actually got one here I've already started early called Untitled Spreadsheet. So here, this is about a kind of a profit and loss spreadsheet. Okay, so what I'm going to do is firstly, I'll come up here, P and L 2025. So we're going to do a lot of the same thing. I've already created my titles. Okay. Google Sheets is very much similar to Microsoft Excel. A lot of the things are the same. We still have the same icons such as functions or so we've got sums and all the other functions there. We've got different things like cell styles and the like, cell colors, all those kinds of things are very similar. There are a few differences though. So we've got date and our columns with date. Like Excel, we've got this little dot in the bottom right hand side of each cell, and I'm going to do the same. January. I'm going to put the full name in here, but it also works with a short one. February. Highlight both those cells so it knows what my range is, and come down and it auto populates. Okay. Now I'm not going to do anything fancy, but we can do things like for cells, choose from a list of different products. So if I've got like 5 or 6 different products, I can have set up in my formulas to give me a drop down of the different products. And there's a number of things that we can do there. We can even have cells auto-populate based on a set of data. For instance, my cost and the sale price can be set up so that when you choose a product, it populates the cost and the sale price. This one, we're just going to do it manually. So, product, I'm going to have the same products. I'm going to have, what was it? Ducks, sheep, and horses. Okay. I've got a number. So this is the number that I sell, my cost and my sale price. I've got a total cost and then a total profit. Okay. Now, it might not be January, February, such and such. It might be specific dates. Okay. So here, I'm actually going to take that out, and I'm going to come down to my sheet. I'm going to click on the little chevron down, and I'm going to rename this to January. Okay. And so here we'll put in a date. 06, 01, or let's try 06, 01, 2025. Okay. It's shortened it, even though in the cell we've still got it. So it's just shortened it to the short version of the date, which is fine. And on this day, I sold some ducks. So I'm going to put in ducks. Number I sold is 12. My cost is $5 a duck. My sale price is $12. Okay. My total cost and my total profit. Now, these are number fields. By default, it'll just automatically decide what you want. And if you put in a number, it'll say it's a number. We can come up here and choose things like number. If I go plain text, it's going to put that to the right-hand side. Automatic, it's just going to figure it's a number. So text, it aligns to the left. Numbers, it aligns to the right. I've got format as currency, so I can click on that, but it's giving me pounds, and I don't want pounds. So I'm going to come up to File, and I'm going to come to Settings. And these are my Google settings. It thinks I'm in the United Kingdom. So let's come here, and let's scroll, and there's no New Zealand. Okay, so I'm going to do the next best thing and say I'm Australian. I can come to my time zone, scroll right down to the bottom, I think. Auckland. Okay. Save and reload. Okay. And now it's given me the dollar symbol. Sale price, that's $1.02. I can highlight both of these cells and say they're dollars as well. Okay. It's not going to show anything because there's nothing there. Okay. So let's get in our formulas for our total cost and total profit. Okay. So our total cost, once again, we're going to come to our formula and we're going to go to sum. It's going to be my cost, and I'm going to use the asterisks to do times the number that was sold. And there's my total cost for that sale. My total profit is, once again, I'm just going to do an auto sum, okay? And it's going to be my sale price times my number, and then minus the total cost. So once again, you can see our cells are color coded. So sale price, what I sell it for, times the number, so the total sale amount, minus what it's cost me. Now I might have a field called sale total, which is probably a wise thing to do. And then I can just take that sale total minus the cost total. So actually, let's do that. I'll start it with total sale, and then total profit. And let's spell things correctly. Okay, so that one's going to be the wrong, and a total sale sum is going to be the number asterisks or times the, move please, times the sale price. All right. C2 times sale price. Let's do this again. Delete. Sorry, it's gotten away. Sum that times sale price. So I sold it for 144. Now, if that happens and you can't fix it, or you're not too sure what to do, you can actually come here and actually change these numbers in this bar yourself. I'm going to go F2. Oh, that was wrong. It's not my total cost times the number I sold. I need to come back here and I need to change it to E2. It's my sale price. Okay, my total sale was 144, and then on my profit, I can do it more simply. My total sale minus my total cost. Okay, and once again, when I've got those, I can click them and I can drag them down. Now, I'm not too sure how far I need to drag them down because I don't know how many sales I'll have in any one month. But I can kind of estimate that it might be around 30-something sales a month. And I can change that if I want. Then I can come and have totals. And here I'm going to do a total, nice and easy, sum. I'm going to scroll up to the top, grab the top and drag it all the way down to there, enter, and here's my total. And once again, I can just grab that little dot and I'm going to drag it back to there. And then I'll just do one more for my total. And like before, I can change this. I can bold it. I can give it a highlight color. I can do the same for my names here. Bold, full color. Okay, and let's go fill this in a few times. 08. Actually, let's just type in 08. No, I need to put in more. 08-01. Horses. I sold 5. My cost of horses is $12. I sell them for 28. Okay, so these we've defaulted back to this is not currency, this is number automatic. So these have defaulted back just to automatic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all of these, highlight those whole areas, and I'm going to click on dollar value now. So now, as I fill it in, 10th, 01, do the same here. Highlight the whole thing, automatic. 2, my cost is still 12, my sale cost is 28. Okay. And so we're filling in a sheet. So that's real basic. And once again, I can right click on this, I can duplicate it, I can click here, I can rename it to February. Okay. And carry on March, April, May, June, July. And so each month I just come in and I fill in those details. Now these are just real basics. There are fancier things that you can do, as I said, but I just wanted to show you just the basics of starting out with Excel if you haven't done any Excel before. This is just real simple stuff, real simple formula, but these are the kind of formulas that get used a lot. So there's lots and lots that you can learn with Excel. Once again, we're using the online version just in our web browser, so it is saving as we go. One little tip though with web browsers is the F11 key. If you want to get rid of all of this other stuff and just have the tool, just press F11 and you'll go into full screen mode. Doesn't matter which browser, it'll work. F11 again comes out. So if you wanted to work in that, okay, I'll create one more quick sheet. Sales totals. Jan, Feb. Okay. Sale total. Total cost. Total sale. Total profit. I'm really hoping this works the same as Excel because I haven't tried it yet. Okay, so now we can do the same. I'm going to rename it to totals. So we have one sheet that gives us a running total of everything in one place. Okay. So sale total, I'm going to come to sum, then I'm going to come to January because we're looking at January, come down the bottom, that, once again, come to total cost, sum, come to the sheet January, total cost, get that total. I'm not actually calculating anything, I'm just pulling in that from the other sheet. Total sale, I think that's the one, yep. And total profit, because I know it's the next one along, I can drag that over and it's going to give me my profit. I could also create a new thing, but I'm just going to do that. Now, because I know this formula now, I can actually grab all of those and drag it down. Okay, I've only got January and February now, so that's why I haven't dragged it down further. Now it's said, take this total from January cell C36. Now it's taking it from January cell C37 because I've dragged it down. It thinks it just wants to go down one cell. I'll come in and I'll actually change this. I still want it to be 36 because it's a direct exact copy, but I'm going to change this to February. And if I don't spell it right, okay, February C36. Let's chuck some data in here. 01/02 product ducks number 10. My cost has gone up to $5.50. My sale price I've kept the same at, I think it was $10. Damn tariffs. Okay, let's come to our total and see if that is updated. Okay, so our sale number has updated. Okay. So here, let's just drag that across. It's going to update all of those ones. And there we have it. And then once again, I can come get a yearly total, auto sum. Okay, go away. Can't believe I can't move that. Okay, it's unformatted funnily, so I need to just put those in the parenthesis, enter, and there we have it. And once again, I can drag that along, and I've got my yearly totals. Year to date. And where's my color? Okay, so yeah, simple spreadsheets, but working across different sheets in the same spreadsheet, bringing in totals, adding things up, subtracting, creating a total based on timesing a sale number of sales versus costs and stuff, just to give us some figures for a useful business type of sheet. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you is we get in the Wānanga, we provide some sheets. So here I've got this certificate and money management assessment sheet. Okay, it comes with 3 sheets in it. Okay. Now, if you don't have Excel installed on your computer, but you want to use it, how do you get it onto your into your cloud? Okay, if you're using Microsoft, you can come to OneDrive and then have OneDrive open, have your computer with it open. You can drag and drop. No, you can't. You used to be able to. Okay, let's come to my files. Sorry. Okay. I'll drag and drop into my files. Okay, and it will upload it. I can create folders in here, and I can put stuff in a folder. So I'm just going to grab that and I'm going to drag it up into that folder. Now with Google Drive and Sheets, it's exactly the same. Come to your Google Drive, come to My Drive, and then we can drag and drop on there. If you're in Google Sheets, you have to open up a sheet, and then you can go File and Import. Okay. And then we can upload, browse, open. Okay. It's going to replace the spreadsheet and import data. So that's how we can get it, a spreadsheet. If we download it, if it gets sent to us an email, that's how we can put it into our own systems, whether we use Google Sheets or Microsoft Office. Now, if you're a Mac user and you have, I've forgotten the name of the Mac version, you're free to use that as well. It works very much similar, probably not as powerful, well, definitely not as powerful as Excel. And I really do like, unless you're really got your computer set up to have cloud services syncing, I really like working in the web browser versions because it's saving all the time as you're working. So the chances of getting anything lost are very, very low. So that's us, whānau. Now I'm going to copy in these links to these playlists. There's 2 different kind of content creators on YouTube. Kevin Stravert, who works for Microsoft, and a lady, Layla Garani. I watch their stuff all the time, or I have watched their stuff all the time when I've wanted to learn how to do stuff. So I do like them. I think they do really nicely paced stuff. And so the playlists that I'll put in are playlists to one for Kevin is Excel playlist, and then 2 for Layla, 1 for Excel and 1 for Google Sheets. So you may not want to watch the whole playlist, but you can pick out little things that you want. Definitely watch the first one if you're new to Excel or Google Sheets, because the first one in each playlist is just starting out with the basics. So it covers a lot of what we've done here, and a bit more, because once again, I'm not the super expert, nor should I say that everything that I do is best practice. It's just kind of the way I've found of doing things. So I'm going to copy these and I'll paste them in the chat. I will also paste them on our Facebook page under this event. Hopefully Google lets me paste that in the chat. It might be too long. Yeah, it's too long. I'll paste it in parts. Let's grab it all. Once again, if you're just starting your journey with a wānanga or you're just starting your new course, all the best for you. We have the most awesome karakoa in the world, except for that Cheryl lady. She's a bit dodge jokes. She's awesome. And if I had I known that she was actually studying, I might have jumped in on her class, but maybe next semester. So yeah, hopefully that was useful. I think we're just about out of time too, because we only get an hour for our live streams. So really do appreciate it. I'm going to finish up quickly, say thank you very much. Next week, AI, be there or be a different shape. Okay, Dad. Outro video. I sing every time now, and I can't stop. But at least it takes my mind off. K-pop Demon Hunter, which is the only thing that's been playing in my car last week. That's it, Dad.